Ooh, 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 yeah, watch yourself, bitch. 1, 2, 3, get down. What up, bitches? It's your boy Angelo, and welcome to podcast number 43. Damn, time flies when you're having fun. I am close, very close to completely blowing everybody's minds with this podcast. Well, not really. Basically, I'm still working out with new artwork, and I'm thinking about reaching out to some friends to make maybe a theme song or something, so I'm not constantly using royalty-free music every single podcast. So yeah, your boy's thinking of it, actually investing in a laptop solely for the podcast. And that way I can maybe get some better software, some better mics, and, step up my game a little bit, because this is fun. I love just shooting the shit with y'all, but ultimately my goal here was to do a few of podcasts like this, not 43 of the motherfuckers, I wanted to do a few to get my feet wet, and then eventually I wanted to start interviewing people, and maybe even bringing in a co-host, or, a sidekick or some shit, But, COVID has made these things a little bit more difficult. I have reached out to some friends about specifically the artwork, and, it's a little hit and miss with them, so I'm still trying to find a good one. But, yeah, the future is bright for this podcast, at least my aspirations for this podcast. Yeah, so let's dive right into it. I want to give a shout out to a man that maybe I've been a little too hard on. Maybe I expected too much. And I put him on a pedestal, and I thought to myself, he better do everything I want to do or he's a colossal failure. Now, I'm being a little dramatic there, but the gentleman I'm talking about is the United States President, a Joseph P. Biden. And is that his full name? His middle name is P, right? P as in Paul? Let's see, Joseph P. Biden. Am I right? Oh man, I was close. It's not a P, it's an R. Joe Biden's full name is Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. I don't know how you pronounce Robinette. It's Robin, but with a E-T-T-E at the end. Sounds French. Robinette. Like that's Italian, but fuck it. My point being, I want to give a shout out to him because I did have my doubts about the stimulus package passing. I thought for sure it would, if it did pass, it would be slashed to Kingdom Come, and it would be like an Obama or a Trump stimulus package, which helped out a little bit, but it helped out a lot of rich people, a lot of businesses that didn't need it, helped out Wall Street, it helped out people that really didn't need the help out right away. People that needed the help right away are the working class, middle class people. And so it passed the Senate along partisan lines. I cannot believe not one Republican voted for it. And what really gets me is now I have seen instances of Republicans celebrating the stimulus package, celebrating the money they're going to get for their state. And rightly so, people are saying, hey, fuck you, you didn't vote for it. And some of them were even lambasting against it. So I hope when election time comes, those Republican politicians who are praising the stimulus package actually get reminded how they voted, and that voters actually use that knowledge to maybe vote for their opponent. But anyway, fucking Republicans, they couldn't, not one Republican vote. I mean, I hope this dashed any hope, any idea of working friendly with the Republicans for Joe Biden and the Kamala Harris administration. It's not going to happen. You tried. Stop now. Because I already see Republicans are, getting ready to go ham on some of the other bills that are passing the House. I believe there was a couple about gun reform I don't know the deets about those, but I know if it's gun reform, anyone who's Republican is going to go crazy about it. However, I should back up and say I did read the article. Some of the Republicans were open to some of these gun laws. So your boy's got to do a little bit more research before he opens his big fat trap about it. I don't want to stick feet in my mouth because I'm not into that. We've already settled. That's not one of my fetishes. Yeah, I don't get why people can see a foot and they're like, I want to put my dick in it or put it in my mouth. Now, I think it's funny if someone has a disgust of feet and you're fooling around with them and you want to fuck with them a little bit to get a laugh at it, then I can imagine, messing with their feet a little bit. But anyway, no judge here. No judge. But anyway, we're getting off topic. We're talking about foot fucking here. Joe Biden, I salute the stimulus package right away. My first takeaway from it was rich people get fucking nothing. And not only that, large businesses don't get anything. I don't remember the specifics about the small businesses. I don't know if this stimulus helps them out. I believe that it does, but I don't know. And that child tax credit is a fucking massive, massive win. And I even see another gentleman that I really didn't like and talked a lot of shit about, Cory Booker, is now trying his hardest to make that a permanent change. And I wholeheartedly agree. It should be a permanent $3,000 per child package or whatever the fuck that thing was. I think it was $3,000 up to 14 or some shit, and then a little bit less, which, you can nitpick to death, but still, it's better than nothing. And it's actually a very large step forward of progress, because for all the reports I've read about it saying that this is going to cut child poverty in half, if not more. But again, the negative about this really good thing is that in the stimulus, it's only a one-time deal. Whereas, any sane, rational person should say, this should be permanent, and Cory Booker is one of them. Hey, I'm not a fan of you, Cory, the majority of the time. I don't know how you got Rosario Dawson. I mean, good God. But you know what? I appreciate you for trying. I appreciate you talking about it. Let's hope you actually follow through with it. But yeah, good job, Joe Biden. I hope the minimum wage debate comes back. I hope that we pass something. I mean, it infuriates me to no end that rich politicians think $15 an hour is too much for poor, struggling, working class people to make. Because where's the incentive? It's the same bullshit you hear about UBI. Well, if people are just getting money, what's their incentive to work? Well, because the mass majority of people do not want handouts, you fuck. The mass majority of people just need a little bit of assistance, and they're going to keep working. They're going to keep buying shit. They're going to make investments in themselves, meaning they're going to buy houses. They're going to buy boats and cars and shit they probably don't need, but they're also going to take care of medical bills. They're going to get better health care and anyway, I don't want to keep going down that fucking rabbit hole. But anywho, nice job, Joe Biden. Your boy salutes you. And I'm going to keep holding your feet to the fire because I expect good things out of you and your administration. So far, I give you a B+. Before the stimulus package, I was giving you a B- C+. If you didn't bomb Syria illegally, and you didn't piss off Iran, and you didn't didn't do a goddamn thing against Saudi Arabia, even though your own investigation showed that Crown Prince killed an American journalist. It doesn't matter that they're American, but they killed a journalist. That journalist worked for the Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. Why isn't Bezos putting pressure on these motherfuckers? Because Saudi Arabia has money and oil. So who gives a fuck? So if I have the one blemish, it's a big ass blemish. It's Joe Biden's foreign policy. That's what's keeping this B-, B+, from getting to an A. His foreign policy has been atrocious, in my opinion. Besides joining the Paris climate deal, which is great. But I haven't seen shit on the Iran front. I see that we're trying to talk to North Korea, which is good. But fuck, the Saudi Arabia and the Syria, and just anything to do with the Middle East, we fucked. And who knows how we're going to do with China. But anyway, I don't want to keep talking shit here. Good job, Joe Biden. Keep it up. Moving on to a controversy that is sweeping the nation and the world. And I just want to give my 2 cents. And this is regarding the royals controversy with Meghan Markle and whatever the British ex-royalty guy's name. God, what the fuck is that guy's name? Damn you, Kimmy Jones, you got me again. By the way, Kimmy Jones is fast becoming one of my favorite strains, you know. In fact, I'm going to light up one here. I think it's Prince William. You know, I'm going to light this up by double check this here because it's embarrassing. Speaking of, it's amazing how ugly these royals are. The vast majority of them. Okay, Prince William is the older one. Well, then what's the... Oh, it's Harry. See, Harry's a good-looking one. I don't know how he escapes that inbred look that the mass majority of the royals look. I mean, I know the controversy is about racism, but holy shit. Can we just talk about how fugly these British royals are? I mean, the ones that are the family, not the ones the ones that marry into it. The majority of them are good-looking. Except, not the one that just married Prince Charles. I mean, she looks like she could be his sister. Maybe she is, but that's what happens. You get fucked up genetics when you just fuck in the family. And these inbred racists, I could care less that they're royalty. And I understand the American misconception about royalties because we fought ourselves out of it. And we can't imagine a world where you get controlled by royals or a royal family. But you know what? In a way, I would argue America does have its own version of royal families. Some of them are political, like the Kennedys and the Bushes and unfortunately the Trumps and fuck, maybe the Clintons. If I don't think Chelsea's ever going to get into it. Maybe the Obamas, but I don't. Maybe one of the daughters will. That wouldn't surprise me, actually. I'm surprised Michelle Obama doesn't get more into politics. Everyone loves her. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, these royals are disgusting looking. I mean, they don't even look human. They look like all their faces look like sagging beef vaginas, honestly. And the most attractive ones married into him. And Princess Diana, good God, I was in love with her when I was a kid. I mean, feel like most 90s kids going through puberty, one way or the other, was attracted to Princess Diana. She was just an elegant, old-fashioned, Hollywood-looking person. Oh, God. And who was she married to? I forget. Was it Prince Charles? Ugh, God. Disgusting. And that fucking Prince Philip, that pedophile. Well, allegedly pedophile. Just because you hang out with a pedophile, you may not know he was a pedophile. We, of course, talking about the Epstein and his girlfriend. What the hell's her name? Dude, I am running a blank on people's names. Damn you, Kimmy Jones. Epstein GF. Why can't I think of her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, that's right. Ghislaine. Just because you hang out with alleged pedophiles, let's be honest. Ghislaine and Epstein were pedophiles. They are, one way or the other. Sex trafficking, whatever you want to call it. And yes, they hung out with the Clintons and Bill Gates and the Trumps and the royal family and a bunch of other rich, famous people around the world. But how many of them actually knew what was going on, you know? I feel like most of them knew, but how can you not? If I had some rich person comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to go party on my yacht? I'd be like, sure. And I go to their yacht and there's just gorgeous women everywhere. I feel like I could tell pretty easily how old the girls are. And if I see like a bunch of 14 or 15 or, I guess anything under 18, I feel like I could tell pretty easily and I'd get the hell out of there. But I guess if you're rich like these people are, or powerful, I mean, you've done everything, so what else can you do? Ugh. Anyway, what the fuck are we talking about here? Oh yeah, the royals. Sorry guys, my mind is wandering. Yeah, the royals are one fucking ugly, garbage, trash-looking people. That's all I want to say about that. No, I want to say more. What the hell? Oh yeah, the controversy. Fuck. Sorry guys. Let's get this podcast back under control here. The controversy, of course, is that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, or no longer Prince Harry, whatever his Harry, Duke of, he's not even a Duke anymore. What do I call him? Just Meghan and Harry, I suppose. They got paid millions of dollars to talk to Oprah. But I guess since Harry is no longer a prince, and he revoked all the royal statuses. I don't think he's got any money besides what he does to like for his celebrity darm. Celebrity darm, is that the word when you make money from being a celebrity? Whatever. He's a celebrity. I'm sure he's doing just fine. And Meghan Markle, same. But when they were talking about some of the royal family was asking how dark is the baby gonna be and other things like that. And they didn't go into specifics. And I got to be honest, I could give two fucks about Meghan Markle and Harry. I don't give a fuck. I don't understand the obsession with the royal family that a lot of people in this country have. I do judge it a little bit because I feel like it's just reality TV. And plus, these are, it's not reality TV in the sense that they are just living their lives. And just their lives becomes like this Truman Show-esque, parody of a normal life. But I just don't get it. Just because they have royal in their name and we love TV shows about royal. Okay, now that I'm talking more about it, I do understand why people like the royal family. But I don't. So fuck them. I don't give a fuck. But I can understand the controversy because, let's face facts. Are you really surprised that these rich, inbred, white people are racist? They may not even be like racist. They may just be out of touch racist. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the Queen of England went over to the infant and was like, "Oi, it's a little mulatto baby." She probably didn't mean to be racist, but that's old terminology, mulatto. I used to hear it, not a lot, but I would hear it sometimes as a kid in reference to, mixed race people. Hell, Tiger Woods, I would always hear be called a mulatto. So I never thought it was racist until I was a little bit older. But again, it's just old language. You have to really, sometimes you have to strip away the word and look at what was their intentions. Now, I'm not defending racism. It's one thing if it's one thing if the Queen of England said old terminology, but she had goodness in her intentions, Oh, what a cute mulatto baby. That's, poor choice of words, but I can understand it. But if she was unhappy with the skin color of the baby and said something along the lines of, "Oh my God, that baby is too mulatto," then you could say, okay, I know you're the Queen of England, but you're also a racist old hag. So we don't know what was actually said. But because I was raised around old-timey language-using people, I would hear a lot of quote-unquote racist language. But the mass majority of the time, there was no hate about it. There was no hate or anger behind those words. The mass majority of the time. And let's face facts, people. Jokes are funny. Racist jokes are funny. Just because a joke is racist doesn't mean it's not funny. It better be funny because there's a fine line these days between being funny and offensive. But I still think racist jokes are funny because they just are. As long as they're not, just being racist for racist sense. So, and I use that logic to, anybody over the age of 60 or 70, really? Like, are you really surprised that an old white woman like the Queen of England may have said something like a mulatto or, what's some other words? I don't know if I should say other words. Let me back that up. But as long as she didn't say like the N-word and there wasn't any hate behind it, whatever word she did use, I don't begrudge her. Shit happens. You know what's going to happen to us? I'm 34. I'm sure in 40 years, I'll say something that 20 and 30-year-olds will just shudder at. Oh, I can't believe he said the word. I don't know what word's bad in 40 years. I don't know. I don't want to say something easy like gender or anything, but I don't know. I can't think of anything, but use your imagination. I'm sure we're using words nowadays that are going to be seen as awful. But so is history. What are you going to do? What was the other one? Is that Prince... what's the other one? The balding one. Yeah, Prince William. He and his hot wife. What the hell is Prince William's wife? She was fine as a motherfucker. Prince William. No, what's his wife's name? So she's got a very British. I think she is British. I mean, yeah, Catherine. That's right. What is she? She's the Duchess of Cambridge. No, wait, Kate Middleton. Wait, why is Kate spelled with the K, but Catherine, her name, is spelled with the C? Who the fuck is the... Okay, it is Catherine. But people call her Kate. These fucking royals. Keep it straight with your white-ass honky names. But what the other controversy was that they were joking about the color of the baby, but not like in a mean way, maybe. I don't know. Again, I don't watch that shit because I don't give a fuck, but this is all what I hear secondhand. So I'm telling you third and fourth hand information. So buyer beware. But yeah. As long as there's no vitriol behind it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. And I understand I'm a white honky ass man, but if I do say something that's slightly offensive about a race of people, but I'm trying to be funny, or I just really don't know the new word, I don't think I should be ridiculed and canceled and thrown under the bus and had, a bunch of shit thrown my way. Now, if I say something obviously racist to get a rise out of people, or I actually am angry or hateful towards a race of people, well then yeah, tar and feather me and kick me out of a plane. I get that. But, the last thing I'll say about this, royal family, I know you're listening to me. I know you like to listen to the podcast. Don't lie, Kate. I know you're secretly attracted to me. I know. I have a different kind of power. I know. But if you want to fix this supposed racism that definitely exists in the royal family, maybe start getting with people outside of your immediate family. You gotta start popping out people that don't look like remember in the last Harry Potter movie when everyone thinks Harry Potter dies and he goes to the subway station and he sees Dumbledore there and they have that conversation, and then they see this like disgusting looking Voldemort baby monster underneath one of the benches. That's what all the royal family actually look like. And maybe if you start banging people of different races, different ethnicities, you're starting to look a little bit more normal. Stop fucking your cousins and brothers and sisters. That's all I'm saying. And maybe down the road, when we have, a queen or two in the future, they won't be saying racist words about an infant. They'll instead be talking about what I would imagine all royals talk about. How ugly the poor are. What's it like to be poor, George? I don't know, dear. Yeah, I can't do accents. That last one sounded like a motherfucking vampire. Oh, Christ. But anyway, fuck the royals. Who gives a fuck, really? Who cares? Every family's got a racist old relatives. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new. Just because they're royal doesn't mean racism doesn't exist. Get that out of here. Oh, and before I forget, there was one more thing I wanted to quickly say about this, is that whatever the London equivalent of like the National Enquirer is, whatever kind of bullshit news rag out there, it's like the New York Daily Post, I think is one too. But all the headlines read after the interview, biggest royal controversy ever. And I immediately thought, really? This is more important than Prince Philip on Pedophile Island, or dare I even say, Princess Diana dying in a motherfucking car accident because she was getting chased by the paparazzi? No. The royals being racist is not the biggest controversy that the royals have ever experienced, just in my lifetime, you dopey fucks. But yeah, let's move on to slut shaming somebody. And that slut would be the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, or as I like to refer to him, Governor Lasagna. He is a disgrace to all Italians, much like Giuliani. Because at least when I'm hitting on a woman and she says no, or I'm getting a not interested vibe, I feel like it's pretty easy to read. And I gotta tell you, a couple days ago, when Nah, actually, it wasn't a couple days ago. This has been going on for a couple weeks. But whatever. When I first heard about the sexual misconduct and the sexual harassment allegations against Cuomo, I wasn't surprised because I was raised by a overtly sexual Italian man who has no concept of space and boundaries and think all women have to be attracted to me. But I also thought, okay, I can't put my own prejudices in this man. I hate Andrew Cuomo for other reasons, specifically the gulags that he opened up in New York with all the old people dying and lying about it and then getting all mafia about it when his staffers started leaking information. We all know this, right? The worst thing about Andrew Cuomo is not the sexual misconduct, sexual harassment allegations. Those are bad. But he knowingly put old people with COVID back into retirement homes where COVID spread and a bunch of people died. They lied about it. They hid it. They misrepresented the numbers. He wrote a book about leading in COVID, knowing all this shit was going down. He would fire any of his staffers that were unhappy about it or didn't want to lie about it. I mean, again, and now what I'm saying, again, are more allegations. But I've seen enough evidence, in my opinion, stuff that I can deem as evidence or proof that actually happened. The nursing home shit happened. So, those gulags are pretty bad, baby. Governor Lasagna better get fired because of that alone. However, back to the sexual misconduct allegations, I get it. Older Italian men, they think they're suave. I'm Italian, and when I get a little bit of boozy in me, I do like to unbutton my top button of my shirt, let my chest hair out and breathe, and I do think I'm much more suave than I probably am. However, I've never made the mistake of continuously harassing a girl once she says no. Never done it in my life. And I was going to give Cuomo a benefit of the doubt. Let the process go through is what I was thinking. Then more and more women started coming out, and I thought, ooh, this is looking bad. And then I saw the wedding video, and I thought immediately, this motherfucker did all of it. Because I don't know if we've all seen the video. Basically, looks like he's eating ice cream or a hot dog. I don't remember. Or something that you deep throat when you eat. And he's hitting on this much younger woman, which, again, her being younger than him doesn't really bother me. But you could see that he was trying to use his age a little bit of an advantage. If you watch the video, you know what I'm talking about. But he's telling her to deep throat it or like to eat it in a suggestive manner. And at a wedding, it's not just those two at the table. There's like other people there, and you could hear awkward laughter because he keeps telling this woman to do it as he's eating whatever it was. And she's like, you could tell that she's feeling very awkward. And she keeps saying, oh, there's cameras here, ha ha ha. No, they can take pictures of this, ha ha ha. She's playing along because, unfortunately, a lot of women have to play along because that's the only way they feel safe. You gross motherfuckers. So once I saw that, I was like, oh shit. So not only did he kill a bunch of old people, he killed everybody's grandparents. Do you know how many grandparents were missing on Thanksgiving and Christmas because of this motherfucker in New York? But anyway. And then this fucking shit. And just the amount of praise that was heaped on him and his dumb fuck brother on CNN, completely ignoring all of this shit. Now, do I think the CNN or MSNBC knew about the, gulag retirement homes? I don't think they did. Fox News did a little bit, but, they're Fox News, so who the fuck's going to believe them? But, yeah. So I think it's time we start slut-shaming Cuomo. Fuck you, Cuomo. You're a dirty, 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 unattractive, greasy wop slut. And I should know, because I was raised by one. And I identify as half a greasy slut myself. So, from one greasy wop slut to another greasy wop slut, go fuck yourself. You need to resign and never show yourself again. Because you're scum. But anyhow, moving on. Well, let's address the elephant in the room. I don't think Tiger Woods should be driving anymore. He's been in 3 accidents that we know of involving him and driving a car. Now, I'm not making fun of Tiger Woods' driving ability. I'm not making fun of the injuries or anything like that. My point being, the jabroni gets in a lot of car accidents and he's a danger to us all, especially in Florida, where he's been in a few. There's 3 that we know about, I should say. Of course, the first one is the infamous one in Florida, '09, when the whole world started following everything that Tiger Woods and his now ex-wife were doing, and the allegations will later turn out to be pretty factual of adultery and blah, blah, blah. But again, who gives a fuck? It's his personal life, whatever. Then he was in a second Florida car accident in 2017, where, I mean, if you saw the Tiger Woods doc, which I did, and it's a very good documentary for the most part. It definitely has its blemishes, but, you know, what doesn't? But if you can find video of that 2017 traffic stop, I mean, Tiger Woods, if it was any other individual, I don't know if it would have been handled the same. I mean, he did go to jail, but they were pretty cool and calm with him, you know? And then, of course, this last one in California, which is, I mean, he's got to basically rebuild his entire lower body. And, well, okay, hold on, what is it? Communicated? Man, why do words have to be so hard sometimes? All right, he has a word I can't pronounce, fractures in the upper and lower parts of the tibia and fibula, meaning the breaks had led to bone splintering. Oh, poor Tiger. I know, LaFonda, I know you're a Tiger fan. But, yeah, Tiger, I'm telling you, baby, don't be driving anymore. You gotta be so wealthy, too. Just hire a personal driver. Plenty of rich people do it. Because, Tiger, I love you, man. You're the best golfer of my generation. I grew up rooting for you, and I heard all the racist shit when I was a kid, and then that documentary brought some of it back up. But you getting in all these car accidents really helps further that stereotype that, you know, because he's, there's a stereotype out there that certain kinds of people are worse drivers than others. And I don't want to further that stereotype because I don't agree with it, even though there's a lot of factual evidence out there that shows that, you know, golfers are just not that good of drivers. So, anywho, Tiger, I think your driving days are over with. Fuck it, give me a call, I'll drive your ass around, I don't care. I think it would be cool to driving Miss Daisy Tiger Woods. You probably get invited to a lot of cool parties. I mean, you're probably not invited in the party. You kind of have to wait outside with all the other drivers. But I bet I get to drive a really nice car. And I bet I could make Tiger laugh and I get invited into the party eventually. Maybe that's where I'll meet the women of my dreams. Because even if you get, because, Tiger Woods gets hounded by a certain kind of woman. I mean, they always hound them. They hound athletes. They hound celebrities. They're gold diggers, so to speak. And, unfortunately, Tiger has dabbled in a few of them. You don't dip your pin in the company ink, Tiger. Except that analogy doesn't really work here since he's not working with these gold diggers. So, anyway, it was low-hanging fruit and I decided to take it. But it just didn't work out. But what are you going to do? My point being, Tiger Woods, I know you're listening to this. Hire me. I'm cheap. I'll drive your ass around. You can get fucked up on painkillers and booze in the back. Look, I'll do some with you, man. It'll be fun. All you have to do is sit back and relax, and I will chauffeur your booty all over town. What's up, LaFon? Do you want to say something? What? All right, you can be in the passenger with us, but okay. I'm pulling for Tiger. These are all jokes, people. Yeah. Tiger, you need to stop driving, baby. That's what I'm getting at. But let's move on to the lightning round. Maybe in the future I'll add special effects to this podcast, really livening it up a little bit. But let's see, I wrote down some things here. I wrote down Beyoncé. Oh, yeah, I saw that she kind of cleaned up at the Grammys over the weekend. And, this may piss off some people. But I'm not sure if there's a more overrated singer, just an overrated performer overall than Beyoncé. Her music is good, but it's not like breaking any new ground. And her acting leaves a lot to be desired. She's not an actress. Not a good actress anyway. But I don't understand this obsession with Beyonce in society. I just don't get it. I mean, she wrote some damn good pop songs and some damn good R&B songs, and Destiny's Child was real good. But I don't know. I never quite liked how the other few singers in Destiny's Child never. They never had anything negative to say about her, but you could always tell that it was more of a stepping off point for her, which, can't really blame her. That's the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But, and I'm all for women empowerment that she exudes, and she's out there talking about little girl power, black power, all these things that are good. These are good things to hear. But she doesn't quite back it up all the time. I mean, let's face facts. Her clothing line or makeup line, whatever she does, it comes from Sri Lanka. And they got sweatshops there. And you got little girls making your shit for the girls in Western society who think Beyonce is the gold standard of what it means to be a woman these days. At least that's my understanding. Maybe I'm just too much of a white manly bitch to know to know the differences. But to me, she's massively overrated. Charitable, sure, she is charitable, but again, I can't quite look the other way on her personal businesses. And, I'm not a fan of her getting paid millions of dollars to go play concerts in Saudi Arabia and shit like that. And to be fair, she's not the only one that does it. Plenty of giant Western musicians go over to the Middle East, predominantly Saudi Arabia, and get paid a buco bucks to perform in solo concerts. I don't know how you could do that, because you're basically entertaining oppressors. And the things that you speak out against in America, they actively do in those countries. And you seem to turn the other cheek because you're getting a paycheck. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is Beyonce's a little bit of a phony to me. But, don't get me wrong, I like her music. I think she's overrated, though. I'm a huge fan of Single Ladies. And that song that says, pack your shit into the left. I think the song is called To the Left. Right? To the Left? Is that the song? Whatever. Lemonade was an okay album, but anyway, I digress. I think she's overrated. I like Rihanna better, for example. Let's see. What else is in this lightning round? I just wrote Oscar diversity. Oh boy, I'm sure this is going to go over well. I think this forced diversity that's going on with the Oscars the last couple of years is really watering down the credibility that the Oscars once had. I mean, I remember as a kid, the Oscars were a big deal in my family. We would all take bets, we'd all talk shit, we would all try to watch all the movies before the Oscars came out, and then if we couldn't, we would quickly do our best to see the movies that were nominated. And this was one of the few things that both my parents enjoyed as movies. The award shows, My mom and dad don't have a lot in common, but one of the few is movies and ranking movies, the critic review of movies. So yeah, it's a big deal to me. I remember getting together with family and friends, and even when I was in college and a little bit older, we used to go to Oscar parties, get hammered and take bets and talk shit. It was great. And again, I'm all for uplifting women and people of color, their films. Sure, absolutely. You cannot ignore the systematic racism that has been in the movie film industry ever since its inception. Absolutely. I feel like there's been great gains and giant steps forward over the last 10 or 15 years or so. So I am just sick of every single year when the Oscars get announced. The first thing I hear is, there's a lack of diversity. And you look, not really. It seems to be 50-50. And shouldn't you just want to have the best movies, the best acting showcased? You don't want to leave someone out because they're white or a man, and just so you take a more inferior movie or actor based on their gender or race. I mean, that's reverse racism in a sense. It really should just be, you know what? We have 10 best pictures. These are truly, in our opinion, the best films. It just so happens that only, 4 out of the 10 are people of color and 2 are women. Whatever. If you really want to make a difference in the film industry, is instead of just forcing award shows to give away awards to people of color or women based solely on their gender or race is help movies that those people want to get made. That way, over time, and I think quite quickly, you're going to get great films, or I guess I should say more great films being made by women and people of color. I mean, come on, guys. Moonlight was a great film. And it beat that bullshit La La Land. That was a great win. That was a what do you call it? People of color film? I don't see. I don't like distinguishing. It was a great film regardless of who was starring in it, but it was a predominantly black movie, and it was a beautiful movie, really moving. I love that movie. Same thing with If Beale Street Could Talk. Great. However, should Black Panther, that Marvel movie, been nominated for Best Picture? Hell to the fuck no. And I understand it. The movie itself, Black Panther, was a big deal. But it's only a big deal because it's a Marvel film. We've had black superheroes before. At least we forget Blade. Wesley Snipes was the man in that movie. But no one cared because it wasn't made a big deal about it. But Black Panther was made a big deal of. And listen, I watch all the Marvel movies because I'm a fucking nerd. Black Panther is a mediocre movie. The villain is top notch. And some of the action scenes look pretty fucking awful. And the story and the plot, there was nothing really that special about it besides the fact that they created this whole world, Wakanda. But is that alone worth nominating for the Best Picture? Really? No! Wait till there's an actual deserving movie to get nominated. I mean, I will never forget Crash beating... What did they beat? What was that gay cowboy film? Brokeback Mountain. I will never forgive the Academy for overlooking Brokeback Mountain, giving it to that pile of shit Crash. Crash is the reason why people dislike the liberal elite of Hollywood. That film was so pretentious and atrocious. Very few things were good about that movie. But I got all this hype because it showed, oh, we're just a melting pot, blah, blah, blah. No fucking shit. You could have made a better movie to showcase that than fucking Crash. I mean, Spike Lee did a damn good thing with that and Do the Right Thing. But, I mean, Brokeback Mountain should have won easily Best Picture. I think it did win Best Director. But, again, don't force this shit on people. So, saying all that, I thoroughly enjoyed Judas and the Black Messiah. But it should not have been nominated for Best Picture. Now, I guess an asterisk next to that would be, look, 2020 films have been more or less shittier than usual because of the pandemic. So maybe Judas and the Black Messiah really is near the cream of the crop because of just the lacklusterness of the films of 2020. And I have not seen the Netflix movie with Viola Davis and, may he rest in peace, the guy that played Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, that Mama Bay Rain. I'm just not a fan of musicals, but I've been told it's not that much of a musical. And what was the other people of color film? Oh, the People versus Billie Holiday. I haven't seen that one yet. But I'm not saying that people of color and women shouldn't be nominated for films, but they should be nominated the same way as any other films. And if you want to uplift those types of people making films, make it easier for their movies to be made. Actually greenlight some of their scripts. You know what I'm saying? And that way, the public will have a better opportunity to see those films. But anyway, it's just this forced diversity. I mean, that's how you get the rise of the MAGAs and the QAnons and the people that just distrust anyone in the media and just the Hollywood elite and just all this bullshit because it's being shoved down our throats. I think the mass majority of people, well, let me back up here. The mass majority of people under, I would say, 60 understand the importance of diversity. But I feel like, again, if we focused on better equality of, how do I say this? The opportunities should be equal for everyone, regardless of your race, sexual, gender, fucking race, whatever. It doesn't matter. Everyone should have equal opportunity to win. But you can't force the results. You can have equal opportunity, but not equal results. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling here. Maybe I'm just canceling myself here. I don't know. I think I'm making sense here. Anyway, let's move on. Well, in closing, I hope everyone is able to go outside and enjoy some of this nice weather. I hope the daylight savings time didn't fuck you over like it did me. That was a day that every so often something would happen. Nothing major, but I almost tripped getting out of bed. I was groggier than usual. I spilt my coffee. I stubbed my toe in the kitchen. I almost tripped over one of LaFonda's toys. It was one of those days where it was a death by 1,000 different cuts. Nothing major, but just a bunch of little itty bitty things that added up over time. That by 4 o'clock on that Sunday, I was like, dude, can I go to fucking bed already? This day fucking blows. It didn't, but it was just one of those days. Just like Limp Bizkit said, one of those days. But yeah, whenever you have a day like that, I just have to question whether or not if the Greeks or the Romans were right. Maybe there really is like 20 gods out there just fucking with us, so that when you do have a day like I did on daylight savings time, where nothing major happened, but just anything that could go wrong would go wrong. Like I remember I kept hitting all the fucking red lights, and there's traffic where there usually isn't traffic. Again, I don't want to just make this a bitching podcast, but whatever the Greek god of annoyances is, they had a pretty good day with me on Sunday. Is that Artemis? Or Dionysus? I don't know. I'm not going to look up the Greek gods. But anyway, hope you all go outside, enjoy the weather. It's gorgeous outside. In fact, I may go work in the garden here a little bit. So peace out. I love y'all. Take care of one another. Take it sleazy. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.